Hey, I'm Carlos, board game designer and the founder of Lost Games. Welcome back to the Diary of a Designer. Last week, we ran a new round of testing sessions for Throne of Etherwyn, and honestly, some of the best sessions we have so far. Today, I want to walk you through what players actually said, what we noticed, and what is telling us about where the game stands right now. One of the most telling moments in any testing sessions isn't during the game. It's what happens after. After these sessions, players stayed and talked without for over an hour. About the game, about the decisions they made, about what they do different next time. That doesn't happen with every game. When people want to keep talking after it's over, that's telling you something real. It means they were engaged, not just going through the motions. That's the signal we look for, and it was there. One of the most common things that come up in early testing is card balance. Players start to feel which card seems stronger than other, and they tell you about it. We always listen to that feedback carefully. It helps us to track which cards are showing up in the highest scoring games and which ones players keep reaching for. Right now, we have several paths that score very similarly and play very differently from each other. That's a balance we aim for. You shouldn't feel like there's one obviously correct strategy. We are happy with where the overall balance is, but I do want to expand the variety, to add more synergies, more ways to combine cards into ways that let you break certain rules of the game and create powerful combinations. That's the next layer of design work. The foundation is solid. Now we add more interesting things to build on it. One of the specific areas we identified as needing improvement is the strategy build around advancing on the faction tracks on the main board. The tracks are a key part of the game. They reward you for committing into a faction and going deep. But we've seen that this path isn't pulling as hard as the other right now. So our latest prototype adjustments are focused on two things: strengthening the faction track strategy and creating more variety in the effects of cards play early in the game. Early turns shape everything that follows. If the early game's cards are interesting and varied, the whole games open up. That's where our attention is right now. Something else that generated a lot of discussion. And this one is actually both a strength and a challenge. Throne of Etherwyn uses simultaneous turns. Everyone plays and resolves at the same time. The result is a game that stays active and fast, almost no downtime, and you're always playing. The trade-off is that it's harder to track exactly what your opponent are doing. Some players raise the concern that it might make cheating easier. Honestly, that doesn't worry me. In my experience, players who want to cheat will find a way regardless how the game is structured. And in all the years I've been designing and testing games, I rarely encounter a player who actually cheats. What I do for first-time players is run the first 3 or 4 rounds of the game by turn, so everyone can follow the resolution clearly and understand how it works. By round 4, people are always comfortable enough to just switch and simultaneous play. Once you felt the pace of the game in full simultaneous mode, going back to sequential turns will feel like a different game entirely. The last thing I want to talk about is a debate that came out around some of the more expensive cards in the game. These are cards that generate victory points directly, and they create a genuine dilemma. One that I think is one of the most interesting decisions in the game. The problem is this: these cards are expensive. If you play them early, you sacrifice resources and slow down your engine, which can hurt your mid-game and beyond. But the earlier you play them, the more victory points they generate over the course of the game. So you are constantly asking yourself, is it too early to play this, or is it already too late to get the full value out of it? We are watching this closely, but personally, I think it's in a good place. That tension, that's the question with no clean answer, is exactly the kind of decision I want of Etherwyn to be full of. So that's where we are. Great sessions, player genuinely engaged, multiple strategies working, some areas still being refined, faction tracks, early game cards, card variety. Every session like this brings the game closer to what it's supposed to be. If you have questions about anything I covered, leave a comment. I read all of them. Subscribe and hit the bell for new episodes every week. See you in the next one.